You wanted to know why those men hit all the red flags for me? Well, let's go. Let's talk about it. I'm going to break it down for you right now. We'll just go ahead and kick off with Miss Kylie Jenner himself, Timothée Chalamet. Now, why would I possibly put Timothy on here? He's such a sweet guy. He just did Wonka. Why? The red flag for me has everything to do with his attraction to and willingness to be tied to the Kardashians. We are talking about a family who for a decade has stolen designs from small creators and passed them off as their own, to the point that these small creators ended up shutting down their businesses, not being able to go on because of the stolen designs in which they were never credited for by the Kardashians, who then use those designs in their sweatshops to produce fast fashion, which is ugly, bad for the environment, and all around horrible for the countries that their factories are in. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, this family is also tied to a very dodgy church, which has been accused of tax evasion. And when you see the way they run, it's not hard to see why. So again, being tied to a family that openly has this kind of a setup, big red flag. If that's not bad enough, then we also have to wonder, why would Timothy be attracted to women who have done so much to harm other women? This is a family that has encouraged women to destroy their bodies, who have instilled insecurities in women and have encouraged eating disorders in women, all based on lies and filtering and their marketing teams. Pretty terrible. Knowing even 10% of those things, suspecting even 10% of those things would make a good, compassionate person with a lot of empathy and desire to help their communities stay away from the Kardashians. But he's right in there, so that's a red flag. Brad Pitt, I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory. His own children allegedly don't want to speak to him, and we have all these stories of violence coming out against Angelina, against his children, against other people. It's a no. Elon, again, this one has to be the most self-explanatory one on the list. And in my personal opinion, one of the most obvious narcissists that we currently have to suffer through in celebrity world. I mean, it takes full delusion to use your daddy's money and call yourself a genius while stealing other ideas and running a platform into the ground. When you literally have the money to just hire people to make it go well, but your ego makes you drive it into the ground, huge red flag. Also, all the secret babies and like throwing away his wives and his trans children and stuff like that, not good. Ashton made me a bit sad, but he's on this list because he wrote a letter defending an essayer. That's right. He wrote a letter asking for some mercy for Danny Masterson, who had essayed multiple women and is now in prison for it. And then when Ashton was forced, and I'm going to say forced, to give an apology, it looked like the most painful thing he had ever done in his life. This man who's gone through a lot of stuff. And if the apology isn't genuine, then in my personal opinion, there's no remorse. And if there's no remorse, that's a red flag. Juan Dixon, I know he's not a traditional celebrity, but he is a Bravo celebrity and he's on my radar, so he made this list. He's a red flag because the way he talks to Robin, he has no qualms ripping her a new one on camera. He talks to her very disgusting. And I'm sure, dynamics are different off camera and closed doors, but I've seen a million red flags in the way he talks to and treats this woman. Gaslights her, the whole thing. Red flag. Now, the one none of you are gonna like, Mr. Harry Styles. Now I'm gonna massacre this name, but the creator Chikamso had the best way of putting this. So I highly recommend you go and watch the video that they've done on Harry Styles and this red flag. But the red flag with Harry Styles is not really anything to do with him that we've seen. It's to do with the people around him. Now, specifically for me, the red flag comes in the form of his close relationship with James Corden, the human trash can. James is notorious for being horrible behind the scenes, for just being absolutely nasty to anyone that he doesn't want to impress. So nasty that it looks like his US career is dwindling and he's coming back over UK side, which, no thanks. You can keep him, America. You deserve him. But in that video from that creator that I talked about, they make the brilliant point of mean people don't seek out nice people, and nice people don't stick around mean people. And there's no way that James, as nasty and as many stories as have come out about him, is sitting around playing nice around Harry all the time. So then what does that indicate to us? Well, to me, it indicates that Harry may not be as nice as he says he is, because again, why, if you were this really nice, awesome, open person, would you be running around spending time with someone who is notoriously disgusting to working class people? So that's my red flag on Mr. Styles. Also, getting with a much older woman who's married with kids, that's not a good sign. That's very Ariana Grande of him. Anyway, back to this mess. Last but not least, we have Matt Healy, the lead singer of the 1975. He's just a scumbag. He's got all the red flags, all of them. But the biggest one for me, are the racist comments that he made about Black women and Chinese women, the racist corn that he likes to brag about watching, and of course, him being Kyle Rittenhouse's #1 fanboy. You can go and look up this snail trail if you want, but essentially after Kyle Rittenhouse unalived 2 people in another state during Black Lives Matter protesters, by the way, because Kyle Rittenhouse is a huge right-wing racist, Matt was right there on the follow train. Why would that be? Why would you want to follow a 17-year-old right-wing political campaigner who killed 2 people? Why? Outside of that, even dating Taylor Swift is a giant red flag on this guy, which again, wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole and wouldn't encourage any of my clients to be around him either. And that's it. That's basically my breakdown of the red flags that I see around these male celebrities. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Lots of you like to do that. Let me know in the comments, and if you want me to do a deeper dive, go ahead and let me know and I'll see what I can do. Follow for more.